wait until then. Anyway, are we ready for our first act? I'm delighted to welcome the stage for first act. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Dale Criswell!
Hello! What am I drinking down there? What am I drinking? My pineapple juice. I always get a pineapple juice from Esker's. I'm going to know what mood the wife is in when I get home, so. A couple of slow burgers there, wasn't it? Just clicking there, was it? Disgusting. Anyway, my name is Dale. My sense of humour has been described a bit like my wife on our honeymoon. It's very dry. That's gonna be the tone for the next 20 minutes or so. Everyone alright with that? Yeah. Good. So I want to talk about my name. My name, obviously Dale. Now it's not a common name, and you might know someone called Dale apart from me. We're giving you the name, and I think because it's not a common name, a lot of people get it wrong. Like people call me things similar, like Dean, Darren is the one I get called the most. Even my wife will get it wrong sometimes when we're in bed. She'll call me Jamie. I know you're like the show an hour behind. Is your boyfriend's called Jamie? Is it? I have a word with my wife anyway. I've been married 11 years now. Thank you. And last year was the first year that I forgot my anniversary. Usually gets that reaction. And I was in work, I was driving home from work at the time, and that's when it hit me. And I thought, oh shit, I didn't have any money on me, I didn't have any, my wallet on me. I thought, what am I going to do, And I'm driving down this busy road, and luckily I seen some flowers down to Orlando's. So I had them off, and I was at the doghouse. This is the first time I want to welcome you to the very first night, first comedy night here in Friday Nights. It's a lovely venue. We're hoping it can be a lasting one. Alright, watch our order. Hoping it can be a lasting one, and it's, like I said, it's a nice place. It's better than the gig I did last night. I did a gig last night. It was a fundraiser. Now I like doing fundraisers because they're good for stage time. You don't get paid for them, obviously you're raising money for charity. And these were raising money for people who suffer with Tourette's. So I took a swear jar with me, put it at the front of the stage, and at the end of the night it was minted. So I just put it into the mic. Talk about my marriage. Like, I married well, not too well. I think it's important to leave room for improvement. Like her cooking is terrible. She's an awful cook. I never tell her, but she is a bad cook, and I mean it's not a good sign when you need a steak knife to cut the gravy. But her cooking is a lot like her. Like they share similarities. Like it looks nice, it smells nice, but I don't want to eat it. I was going down the pub one day to watch a football with a few boys, and my wife said, yeah, that's fine, just be back by dinner time. I said, yeah, no problem, we'll be back by 6. And then 6 o'clock came around, and I wasn't back. So my wife rang me, she said, are you coming home soon? Because your dinner's almost ready. I said, yeah, I'll be home shortly. And shortly came, and still wasn't home, so she gave me a text, all in capitals, and all that. And she said, listen, if you're not home in 10 minutes, I'm going to feed your dinner to the dog. I was only 4 minutes. I love that dog. But apart from that, she's a good person, my wife. She's a good person, and it rubs off on me because I consider myself a good person. I like to be a good person. I like to do nice things for people. I like to do nice things for strangers. Like, you know, like not big things like bone marrow. I mean, like, you know, if you walk in behind someone and you see them drop their wallet, you know, you go away, you pick it up, and if there's nothing in it, you give it back. example, the other day we went to Tesco's and we got to the till and there was this lovely old lady in front of me, sweet old lady, and she put all the shopping through and we tilled it up and she was about a pound short of her shopping, which was ridiculous because the till assistant, she was there just waiting. I thought, what's a pound? And you can see this little old lady, she was getting stressed and she was getting upset. And I thought, well, this is a good opportunity for me to step in. It could be a good person. So that's what I did. I stepped in and I helped that old lady put all her shopping back. So, like I said, been married 11 years, and it was about 3 years things started hitting a rough patch, mainly our sex life. And so I thought I wanted to do something nice. So I put this to go on a holiday. Nice spa weekend, relaxing weekend away in Barcelona. And it was lovely because this hotel was stunning. It had everything. It was a spa hotel, it had saunas, jacuzzis, there was a gym there apparently. And we got to the airport, we were queuing to go on the plane. And my wife turned to me and she said, "We've got a female pilot." And I thought, okay, no. As far as I know, I've never had a female pilot. And then word started spreading up and down the queue that we had this female pilot. And sorry, mate, I thought you were looking at me there, sorry. Word started coming up and down the queue that we had this female pilot. And the amount of sexist and misogynistic jokes going around were unbelievable. You know, things like she'd be held back in out or she's about to hit a curve. It was ridiculous. Because I tell you what, that was one of the nicest flights I've ever been on in my life. I mean, we flew all the way there with the indicators on, but apart from that, it was great. And we got to the hotel and we checked into the hotel and there was this young couple in the room next to us. And to be honest, they were doing my head in because they were shagging every night. And like I said, I was there to try and spice up my sex life. And by about the third night, they were really pissing me off. I mean, it was more annoyed I couldn't see them from the balcony. But about the third night, I said, "Oh, come on, love." I said, "Let's have sex. Let's show them we're just as vibrant as they are." So we started having sex, and that abruptly ended. So I lay back on the bed, had a cigarette. She lay back, had a cry. And then I noticed the couple next door, they were still going, and I felt a bit humble, to be honest. So I said, "Oh, come on, love." I started jumping on the bed, didn't I? Make it sound like they were still going. And I said, "Come on, love, start making some of those noises you were making during sex." And she started snoring. But after that holiday, we got home and we realised that the thing was missing in our lives was a baby. We wanted to start there and then. We wanted to start a family. And we didn't have any joy with it at first, so we went to see a doctor. And this doctor put us on a sex schedule. And have you ever seen a more defeated man than one on a sex schedule? Because it turns out we don't want sex as much as you think we do. It's absolutely exhausting. It's like being back on shifts. It's like 4 on, 4 off. And I was determined to make it happen. Not only was it determined to make it happen, I wanted to show enthusiasm, but I was still into this. So the one night I went upstairs, she was down in the living room, she was on the phone with someone, and I had work the next day, 6 o'clock start, and I have to do it now, otherwise I'm not going to do it at all. So I went upstairs, burst open the door, and said, "Listen, come on, we've got to get upstairs and bring those knees." And she said, "Do you mind? I'm on the phone." And I said, "I know, but if we don't do it now, we're not going to do it at all." Right? She went, "Oh, hang on a minute." She went, "I'll bring you back in about 2 minutes. Is that all right?" Yeah, I felt a bit emasculated. But she has a point. I am quite premature. I mean, I'm supposed to be on next. So we went upstairs and we got this other thing where she likes to have sex with the lights off, and I don't like it. I like the lights on, I like to see what I'm doing, I like to make sure she's there. Because, you know, I did it once, and we done it once, and I was performing oral to a nice guy, like I said earlier. I was performing a hall and it was about 20 minutes and I thought, she's not into this at all. And I said, you enjoying this stuff? It's pretty dry. She said, you're letting the mattress. It wasn't too bad, so she went to turn the lights off. I said, no, leave them on. She said, no, off. I said, on. So we compromised and we turned them off. She made me wear my night vision goggles. And in the end, we solved it. I got her pregnant. I'm assuming I did. She looks like me. Yeah, so we got her pregnant, and this is where the tough part begins now, because pregnancy, let's be honest, pregnancy for a man is tough, isn't it? It's a tricky stage, right? And I think it puts a strain on a relationship. Like, a lot of things go into it. A few aspects go into it. First of all, there's the eating. My wife ate everything in sight. I understand she's eating for two now, but she really ballooned out, my wife, and really big. To a point where I'd be sitting on the sofa watching the football. She would pass the TV and miss the second half. We got a new mother in here, haven't we? Where's Emma? Oh, Emma. Just had a baby back in January. Is it this one? We get a round of applause for Emma. And a round of applause for Gaz for managing it. Congratulations. So, Emma, I want to ask you, did you have any real cravings during your pregnancy? Sorry? It's probably always not pregnant. Anything inside? No, alright. So, any other mothers in here have any weird cravings during their pregnancy? No? Oh, what enough? Pickled onion monster munch. I don't like them when I'm not pregnant. So. You don't like them then, yeah? Oh, that's weird. My wife, she had it's not a weird craving, she had a craving for bananas. And the thing is, we both like bananas, but we like them at different levels of ripeness in our lives. Like she likes it just as they turn in yellow. I like mine a bit further on with a bit of bruising. I like mine to look like a pensioner's arm before I have them. And then of course there's the sex, or lack of it. Now that's not down to her, that's down to me. She'd rather have sex, but I was too afraid that I might hurt her or I might kill a baby. She said I was very bold of you, but soon you reach. She respected my decision not to have sex, and it turned out to be a bad decision, because we all need sex, don't we? It's a craving, we're all human. And the longer we're on, the longer I started to miss it. And I was missing it so much, I went for a run in flip-flops just to remember the sound. Honestly, it was getting bad. I was going to bowling just to get my fingers in something. And I just noticed that my wife, it wasn't phasing my wife. She wasn't affected like I was. So I asked her, I confronted her. I said, listen, you can get me someone else. You're on some sort of website, some sort of dating app. And she said no, so I left it at that. A couple of days later, a colleague of mine, he came up to me and he said, Darren. Should have paid attention to the beginning. He said, Darren, did you know your wife was on a dating app? And he showed me on his phone and I went, the lying bitch. She's not fun to be around. Now the baby, pregnancy went well, we don't know blessed with abuse the baby girl. She's 3 now, and the wife and I, we are trying to get sex life back on track. Trying to do a few things like, we introduced food into our sex life. That was quite good. We introduced food into our sex life. It's not too bad, but once the carrot goes in, it's not true for me. And it has to be sexy food as well, really. Like strawberries, whipped cream, chocolate, and to chop up an onion on it. So what I did, so what I did for dessert, I covered my gelatos in peanut butter. I don't know why I pointed. I know exactly where they are. I covered my gelatos in peanut butter and I presented them to her, and she wasn't having any of that. And I was like, well, won't you have? We got a dog. She did. She came home from work the one day, and I said, how do you feel about eating dinner off each other? She said, you haven't done the dishes, have you? I'm trying other things as well, wife swapping, that's good. Swap mine for your Xbox. What else have we tried? I'm trying silly things as well, so I come up with this game called See How Long It Takes My Wife to Notice That My Willy Is Out. Play that, haven't See how long it takes my wife to notice that my willy is out. Now, it's a simple game, I'll go through it with you. No, I don't like visual demonstrations, you don't need that. So what I'll do, I'll wait for my wife's attention to be off me, and I'll get my willy out, and I'll see how long it takes you to notice, hence the name of the game. Now, if you're going to play this, you better not play it at home. You don't want to be playing on your public transport or family events, because your sister's really good at it. So the other day, we were playing it the other day, we just settled down for a film, and it was a boring film, half hour in, I thought, this is rubbish film. So I thought, man, your attention's off me, so I got my video. And about 20 minutes before she noticed, and she looked at me and said, oh, for God's sake, put it away, we're not playing that now. And I said, you've been ridiculous at this game. I said, the woman next to me in the cinema, it was 10 minutes ago. I tried this other thing. So was anyone ever in this thing called Clone a Willy? Just you again?
No, but I know you can mould your coach.
You can do that as well.
Yeah.
I did the Willy. So so this is a thing called Clone a Willy, and basically what you do, they send you this like tube to put yourself in. So you send you this tube and there's like clay in there. And you put yourself in, erect, that's important. And then you take yourself out. Of the tube, I mean, you don't go short with it. And then you put in this like silicone or something, I'm not sure what it is. You put in this silicone and then you let it stiffen. And then and then you're left with this lovely dildo. And this is a good present for like your partner, your wife, or if you do like Secret Santa in work. So I looked online for one, and they were about 60 quid upwards, which is a bit more than I want to spend just to save my marriage. And then I realised that I could probably achieve the same results with some melted candle wax. Yeah. Melted candle wax and my daughter's Play-Doh. And that's what I did. And it turned out great. And I brought it with me tonight. Would you like to see the end? Hang on. Here it is. That's it. That's my Clone a Willy. You like that? I went for black because I thought it looked bigger. And it does. What else have we been doing? So, what else did we do? I tell you what she did the other day. She gave me a hand job using Vaseline. Came 3 times in the shower trying to wash it off. Made a sex tape the other day. It came too quick, so it turned into a GIF. Tell you what else she did. She ordered this package from Love Honey. Anyone familiar with Love Honey? Look at that, you. Anyone familiar with Love Honey?
Yeah.
So she ordered this package from Love Honey. It came in the morning, and she put it on the breakfast bar. And the first thing she pulled out was this vibrator, huge vibrator, and she switched it on. She switched it as one of those like rabbit ones. If you haven't seen it, about the size of a traffic cone. And she switched it on. She put the end of it to her nose. You know again. Well, apparently this is how you test the sensitivity of the vibrator to your nose. Now I didn't know that. But it must be good because the nose started running. Another thing she ordered was this huge strap-on. She pulled out this huge strap-on. And she looked at me. She looked at me and she looked at the strap-on. And then she looked at me and she looked at the strap-on. And I looked at her and I looked at the strap-on. And I said, absolutely no way. I said, no, you're not using that thing on me. I said, I'm all for spicing up our sex life, but I got to put my foot down somewhere. I got to draw the line somewhere. She said, oh no, go on, you gotta go. I went, no way. She said, oh, go on. I said, no, absolutely not. She said, listen. Sorry. She said, listen, you take it up the arse tonight with this strap on, and I'll buy you a t-shirt with a wolf on it. But I said no. This is a different t-shirt. Anyway, I've been Dale Croswell. Thank you very much.